Organic evolution has been of utmost importance in comprehending the variety of life on Earth since being initially brought to light. In the early 1800s, Herbert Spencer was the first to use the term organic evolution, significantly changing the realm of biology. Charles Darwin further revolutionized the area with his theory of natural selection, being one of his leading advances. This combined centuries of observations, experiments, and debates, lovingly dubbed Darwin's Playground, and the mystery of mysteries, has extended across generations and continues to fuel many new discoveries. Charles Darwin's The Origin of Species completely transformed the human perception of the evolution of life on Earth. Darwin suggested the concept of natural selection, speculating that the creatures with the greatest features for adjusting to their environment have a better chance of surviving and transmitting their advantageous characteristics to following generations. This survival of the fittest thought has been often used to explain various aspects of life, including social elements, for many years. If we can comprehend the natural selection process better, we can learn priceless insight into how different systems of life work. Evolution's modern concept implies that there are gradual changes in the allelic frequencies in a population. These variations are the consequence of mutations, gene recombinations, genetic drift, and gene flow. Additionally, reproductive isolation and positive selection pressures are responsible for strengthening the heritable beneficial variations over time. All of these small alterations can add up over time, leading to the evolution of a species. Mutation plays a key role in evolution, as genetic information is passed from parents to their offspring but also undergoes alterations, namely random changes in its DNA sequence. These mutations are the ultimate source of genetic variation, providing the potential for organisms to evolve. Neo-Darwinists suggest that advantageous mutations tend to accumulate in organisms and are seen as the primary impetus of evolution. Our human population is in a constant state of change, but there are times when it reaches an equilibrium called the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. In this state, there are no evolutionary changes. While this may appear to be a mystery, in this presentation you are going to explore the efforts of scientists to explain this phenomenon. Discover the complexities of the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium and how scientists are striving to understand it. Organic evolution, as coined by Herbert Spencer, refers to the gradual development of complex biological forms from simpler forms. The idea has been around for a long time, but it was Spencer who first put it into words. The concept of evolution is now widely accepted in biology, famously expressed by Dobzhansky: "Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution." Gaining an understanding of the concept of evolution is essential in order to comprehend the complexity of life. One of the greatest mysteries of the universe is the origin of life. Over the centuries, many theories have been proposed to explain its origins, from special creation, cosmozoic, or panspermia, to spontaneous generation, or abiogenesis, catastrophism, biogenesis, and the theory of both chemical and biological origins, or Kocher-Vaite theory. Although each theory has its advantages, none have been able to provide conclusive evidence to explain this mystery. The theory that life on Earth was created by a divine power is proposed, and it is possible that life may have come from elsewhere in the universe. Cosmozoic theory suggests that life emerged independently within the universe, while panspermia proposes that life was spread throughout the cosmos on microscopic spores. Both theories offer interesting explanations for the origins of life on Earth. Spontaneous generation or abiogenesis is a theory that suggests life was formed from non-living or decomposing materials like manure or dew. This theory was suggested in ancient times and was widely accepted until the 19th century. Eventually, however, it was debunked and replaced by biological evolution, proposed by Charles Darwin. Georges Cuvier first proposed the theory of catastrophism, which states that Earth experiences periodic catastrophic events that lead to the death of all existing organisms and the emergence of new ones. This phenomenon of destruction and renewal, known as disaster, has been studied for centuries, and there is much to be explored regarding its potential implications. Louis Pasteur disproved the theory of spontaneous generation in 1859 through an experiment known as the Swan Neck Flask experiment. He heated the flask, preventing airborne particles from entering, and upon observing the liquid over a period of 7 weeks, found no new organisms had formed. Proving that all living organisms originate from pre-existing organisms, the theory of biogenesis. Pasteur is credited with proving this theory through scientific experiment. A.I. Apperin proposed in 1924 the so-called cochervate theory, claiming that primitive organisms could have emerged spontaneously from inorganic components because of physical forces, like lightning, ultraviolet radiation or volcanic activity. This theory postulated that the origin of life was mainly due to chemical evolution, leading up to biological evolution. This idea was backed by J.B.S. Haldane in 1929. Chemical evolution occurred from approximately 4.5 to 5 billion years ago, with temperatures ranging from 5,000 to 6,000 degrees Celsius. The lighter elements of hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, and carbon moved to the Earth's surface and created a primitive atmosphere that was hot and had no free oxygen, dubbed a reducing atmosphere. This environment enabled the development and growth of life on Earth. The combination of elements led to the formation of a variety of compounds like ammonia, methane, and others. Water vapor in the atmosphere condensed into rain droplets which ran over the land and eventually accumulated as streams, rivers, and oceans. The mineral content of the water increased as some minerals were dissolved in it, resulting in substances like ammonia and methane being washed down from the land into the water. Highly reactive radicals such as carbon monohydride and CH2 within the prebiotic soup were condensed to form a wide variety of hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons then responded with ammonia and water to form several simple organic molecules, including sugars, amino acids, fatty acids, purines, and pyrimidines. This combination of molecules eventually led to nucleosides and nucleotides, the building blocks of life. This mechanism, which occurred within boiling pools of water on the primitive Earth, was famously coined the hot dilute soup, or prebiotic soup, by J.B.S. Haldane. Prebiotic soup is an environment containing simple organic molecules that were able to develop into far more complex polymers such as polysaccharides, proteins, fats, and nucleic acids. These substances combined with each other to form nucleoproteins, which became the building blocks for early life on Earth. Charles Darwin coined the term organic evolution in the mid-19th century, which has since been furthered by famous scientists, such as Theodosius Dobzhansky, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, and Herbert Spencer. Their research, along with many others, has led to a greater understanding of how life on Earth has developed over time. The cosmozoic theory is one of the oldest forms of the origin of life on Earth. It suggests divine power was the force behind the creation of living organisms and was popularized throughout the 19th century, also referred to as a theory of special creation. Despite other theories, such as the theory of spontaneous generation proposing that life on Earth spontaneously originated from non-living matter, and the theory of catastrophism proposing life was created through a series of catastrophic events, the cosmozoic theory continues to be the most commonly accepted explanation for the origin of life on Earth. At fourth point on our slide is the atmosphere of primitive Earth. It is believed that early Earth had a reducing atmosphere where oxygen was almost absent and other elements existed in either molecular or elemental form. This was succeeded by an oxidizing atmosphere, then by a polymerizing atmosphere, and eventually, a condensing atmosphere. Thank you for your attention.